Hello, hello. Good morning, happy Monday. I'm very happy to welcome you on my personal profile. I am Celia Mary. I am an artist, a researcher, a teacher, a healer, and I encompass all these roles, identities under the archetype of the priestess. So, the priestess, I believe, is really at the center of our global movement of transformation. And it's not only a she is also a he. I believe this is the divine feminine that is leading our evolution through men and women. The divine feminine being connected to the living. Hi, Lucine. Yay, how are you? So you can say hi when you connect. It's very nice to know that you are here. And also when you watch the replay, it's really nice to you can put hashtag replay or and so as every week, every Monday, I come here and connect with you in order to share my knowledge, my wisdom, to build a relationship, a connection, to share who I am and a bit of my journey and my vision. And I support creators, conscious creators, leaders in this movement of transformation. That is a really deep process of awakening and embodiment of our divinity at a global level. And so what I mean by our divinity is really this light that we have inside of us, this sparkle that ignites the fire of life, the movement of evolution that made that we were born here on this planet, that make us evolve, that make us love, create, bond, meet each other. Wonderful. And so this is the topic of my life today. It's really, this light is actually love. And some people who, so yeah, I am watching also your comments, so you can comment, you can say how you are, welcoming you in this space. And also usually I start with a moment of connection when we can breathe together and really settle in the space. And now, I don't know, today I started right away with my introduction, with my words. But I also would like us to take some moment of presence together because it is very important to have this balance. And we can say also this is the balance in between the feminine and the masculine. It is the balance in between listening and speaking. It's very important to listen to each other and of course to listen to what is present in the field so as to be led by love and lead in a way that is loving, that is rooted in, I was about to say, our DNA, so to express our core nature. And yeah, my message today, I wanted to say also that for me as an artist, I feel really it is a performance for me to come here before I have, this feeling, this gut feeling, being very excited. It's like before going on stage, basically. And my teaching is really about how we can really show up in a way that it is ourselves, and it is not a mask. Or we can also use the mask, of course, the like this, the clothes, the makeup, the everything. We can use it as a choice in order to express our message, to express our identity. And then my teaching is about being very rooted, grounded in our presence, in our body, so that we can be able to be led by love. And here there is a mystery. So just breathing and then being present, then we are guided to do whatever we have to do. And it's actually not only us as a person that is speaking, but it is really this force of evolution that is love. It is really the universe, we could say, because the micro level is connected to the macro level. So the universe is expressing something very special through you, and through your voice, through your body, through your face. And same for me. So I am embodying this now, and I hope to inspire you to do the same, to show up in your life. You don't have to, maybe you are not a teacher, maybe you are not an artist, maybe you are not a healer, but we are all part of this universe, and we are all moved by love. Or we can, if we want to, because I believe that there are some people very lost or guided by other forces. I know that there is not only love on this planet, but I know that the goal, and I am here actually for the people who stand for this possibility of expressing love and reaching the highest potential in leading themselves and taking a stand for making this world a better place. And this is how we can actually become healthy and also prosperous. So this is how we can create a thriving reality for ourselves, but also for the people we love, our families, our communities, our countries. So I am inhabited by a very powerful and beautiful image of the One. So this is the name of my company, and it's also the name now today. And before, to dive deeper in the topic, I would like now that we have a moment of presencing together. So just welcoming this love, feeling this love, because at a certain level also of awakening in our spiritual journey, we can really witness that everything is love. And in this space, we can really open our heart to what is, accept the external conditions where we are, what is proposed to us as an experience. And in this way, we can actually transform all that we don't like, or all that may possibly make us suffer. We can really alchemize this in the heart. So this is really the power of the heart. In the heart, we can agree, even we can reconcile families, couples, people who are torn apart, brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers to their sons and daughters. And in this way, we can generate a new cooperation at a micro level as a micro level. So in our families, with our friends, in our businesses, as employees and entrepreneurs, and also in between countries. And at a macro level, at a planetary level, I think now it is very important to embody a planetary citizenship, as the economy is globalized, finance is globalized. This is the historical process of globalization, and there was a lot of pain also in this process with colonization, slavery, a lot of difficult and a lot of also that is still happening now with some corporations. So actually, I studied political science, international relations, and I engaged for human rights globally. So I went to Colombia, to Ecuador, to Cambodia, Australia. So I really greet all my friends from all over the world. I also went to Africa in Senegal and Togo, Benin. And so, because I was always passionate about knowing human beings, knowing different cultures, meeting each other, and and I believe that this whole history of meeting each other and then dominating or imposing one way to do things, to engage spiritually or to engage economically, politically, I really believe this was an experience probably that we had to make as a collective in order to become more conscious. And now I am standing for a new way of encountering, meeting each other, and and cooperating, co-creating. And I believe this is now our mission at a global level, to really co-create this new paradigm in science, in religion, in a sense of shared belief system, and in the way we exchange information, goods, services, in the way we communicate, in language. And these are actually the 4 pillars of civilization that I have just stated. So really co-creating a new civilization that is really able to integrate all the diverse peoples of the world, the diverse cultures, and the diverse, ways of relating, of behaving, of being. Because our diversity is really our greatest legacy, our greatest asset. So I also did a video on the fact that your identity is your greatest asset, your greatest legacy, as an individual, as a collective, a community, as a country. And so I have this project, this vision now of empowering a global process of transformation to develop a new governance that is based on this notion that we can actually be united in a context of differences. And our differences is really enriching each other. And because my genius is not your genius. And so if I really shine in my light, if I really express my genius, I can empower you, because this is my genius actually, to empower you in your own genius. And probably your genius will be something else, because I am unique and you are unique too. And so this is really wonderful, because then we can cooperate. And what you will do, I will not be able to do it. Probably. And for my project, I want to develop also an application and also a game actually at a global level to empower this new cooperation, this new adventure, to connect all the people who want to work in this dimension. That is, as I shared also last time, that is not so much about working anymore, but it's more about playing. But this is really after reaching a certain point of awakening, of empowerment, then we can really understand that we are as spiritual beings. Yes, it's Teilhard de Chardin who was saying, is the French philosopher and Jesuit, who was saying that we are not human beings doing a spiritual experience. We are actually spiritual beings doing a human experience. So I hope I remember well the author. If I make a mistake, then I will write it after on the video. I think it is the good one. If you are here and if you want to correct if it is a mistake, but yeah, I think it is the good one. And what the force that enables us to cooperate in the context of diversity, because of course this is also our greatest challenge. Because when we are diverse, maybe we don't make the same choices, maybe we don't have the same priorities. And so the same author also said something that is very dear to me, that is very inspiring for me, so Teilhard de Chardin. And he also theorized this idea of the noosphere that I shared in my very first video when I introduced the one to you. This concept of the noosphere, where the whole Earth, we can be, as human beings, one with the Earth, and really embodying this cognitive aspect of the Earth. So really becoming the conscious intelligence that can channel energy, the energy of ourselves as human beings, but also the energy of our ecosystem, so the Earth, and more broadly of our solar system and the cosmos, in a way that is relevant and grounded in this interconnectedness with the living. And so in this way we can really become this noosphere. And also there is an important author that I already quoted also in this first video, but I say it again, Vernadsky, really said that there was these different layers of the living, with the geosphere, and then the lithosphere, geosphere, biosphere, and then technosphere, and then noosphere. So actually the technology is also empowering us to develop this new consciousness. As now I am using these social networks to speak to you, this is really a wonderful tool. And also we saw that these technologies, the social networks especially, they also helped, for instance, in the Arab Spring or in different social movements. So it can be really a tool, but also as any tool, it can also hurt. And it's really as the fire, you know, in this myth of regarding knowledge. So this is the myth of Prométhée and Epiméthée. So the gods are giving all the gifts to the different animals in the living. So to the cat, they give the sight and very nice hair on the skin, not to be cold in winter, and so on. To all animals, they have different attributes. And then there was the human being, and there were no attributes anymore. They already gave everything. So then the human beings were like naked, and they didn't have anything left. And so what did Prométhée is, so this is the first one, is Epiméthée, who shared all these gifts. And so then what did Prométhée is he actually stole the fire to the gods to give it to human beings. And this is the symbol of knowledge, the symbol of the capacity of consciousness, and the capacity to know, capacity to create. And this is then related to technology. So of course with technology we can burn ourselves also out, and this is the issue of burnout now. And this is really about, again, in connection with what I shared at first, the balance in between the feminine and the masculine. When we are too much in our masculine, when we are too much projecting, too much speaking. And today we really had a long phase of history connected to patriarchy, and so really to a big disbalance in between the feminine and the masculine. The masculine really took over the feminine. And now this is really the moment of the return of the feminine. This is why this is a return of the priestesses that were operating under the before the rise of patriarchy and of civilization as we know it. There were these priestesses that were the mothers of creation that were operating rituals in society in order to create peace, to create a shared meaning. And so it was actually really a political mission. And then they had the kings. They took men to rule over but then the men were like, the king was more an administrator, or we could say he also had political power, and then the spiritual power was really held by the priestesses. And I know I opened a lot of doors, but I don't lose my mind. I will recuperate everything and close the circle, you will see. So this is a spiral. And this is the spiral of knowledge, the spiral of, and this is really a mystery that is landing right now, and that I am performing. You know, this is why I say I am an artist, but I also perform as a singer, as a dancer, and maybe I will offer a bit more of my art when I will finally do this moment of presencing after the so many words. And yeah, well, the question was the question of technology and the fire. And Teilhard de Chardin, who was sharing that, like the quote from Teilhard de Chardin is, once human beings, and I will put it, the proper quote, I will put it again in the introduction of the live, of the video, that once human beings will have mastered everything, basically, the winds, the tides, or the environment, thanks to fire, thanks to technology, then they will discover love again. And at this point, they will have discovered fire for the second time. So I really believe, so I will put the quote, exact quote, because this is not the exact quote, but you can, I have transmitted you the meaning of the quote. And so this is really this idea that love, thanks to love, we can connect to each other, and we can learn from each other, and we can use our gifts. So we all have fire. So fire is also the symbol of life force and consciousness. And so we can really put this fire that we have all individually and collectively in service of ourselves and of each other and of our global ecosystem, so as to recreate the heavens on earth, the paradise on earth that actually was always there. We never fell. We were, maybe we could say that this patriarchy and all of that was a fall, actually. And because there was this myth, as I also shared last time in my last video, about the path of the Magdalene and embodying your divinity. This is really freeing ourselves from this myth that we actually fall from the heaven because of knowledge, and then so this is really the root of the separation in between the body and spirit, and separation also in between the masculine and the feminine. And then this explains the guilt that we can feel, or the shame being naked, while actually we are perfect as we are. We are so beautiful. We are incredible creatures made from love. We are the children of the universe. We are absolutely amazing. It's like animals, they are just so wonderful. When you see a lion, when you see this cat, it's amazing to see this beauty of life, this beauty of animals, and it is the same actually with human beings. But yes, we've been very damaged by a lot of ignorance, and also some people who took over power and did a lot of things that were very bad to and so then, for instance, in the church, with the Catholic religion, that is actually very spread worldwide. So this is why also I talk about it. Also, of course, I was born in France, so I am also I have inherited from this culture. I was born in this Christian culture, so this is also why I'm talking about it. And I believe it's very important for a lot of people around the world, because this is one of the religion that is the biggest, that has the biggest influence. And so then this separation, this idea of the separation in between the divine and the human being, is actually at the center of a process of domination, because then the power was lying in the hands of the priests that were only men to know the truth, to preach people, and to be the ones who would liberate people, thanks to first to be baptized, and then they would free people from this this original sin that make everyone get guilty, basically. And then the woman is the worst, is the greatest devil in this vision. And she cannot preach, and all that is connected to sexuality and to pleasure, then it is really demonized. And because this is really where the power is, actually. Power is in this fire of creation. Power is in the body. This is where you can find your wisdom. This is where you can find your truth. This is where you can find your anchor, your strength. This is the root of your power. And so this is why they demonized it, in order to take power over people and to make order. And then also they were themselves the victims of that. So I also quoted last time Michel Foucault, the French philosopher, that power is relational. So then, now the point is not to say, oh, these people were very bad, and then the other people, the poor people, they were victims of that. I think it was a system, and this is really important to see things as a system, and we are all part of a system. So the way to change the system is actually to change ourselves and to create a new system that is more complex than the previous one. This is how evolution actually functions, like this. The laws of evolution throughout the living is becoming more complex and more complex. And so the priests, also in the Catholic Church, actually, I believe they were also the victims. They were the perpetrators of very bad things, but they were also the victims of that. And the consequence of this is all the rapes and pedophilia they did on children, and because they were not able to have any sexuality, they were not allowed themselves to connect to their inner power. And so it was really a system of domination in order to keep all the gold, the material wealth inside of the institution, and very well ordered, very well controlled by a very strict hierarchy. And so this was also connected to feudalism, to the kings, the monarchy. And so in this way, the power was very concentrated, and then there was some order possible. And then with modernism, so I don't know if the point is to do a history class, but I think it's very important to recognize, to know our history. And this is how we can bring about a new story. This is how we can restore ourselves and restoring our world. As a very good friend of me says. So yeah, it is very important to reclaim our history, reclaim our power, and then create something new. We need to know the past and to understand the past and to forgive also the past, and to understand that we are all intricated in this system. And so it is not about pointing fingers or shaming others. It is really about recognizing what was done, what happened, in order to create something new and to take responsibility for that, actually. And then because we can have the best intentions, we can be very well intentioned, but if we are not aware of our own shadows, then we can actually reproduce what the errors from the past. And so that is why also last time in my last video I also shared about not projecting our own shadows on the others. And this was about this question of conspiracy theory, and that actually maintained a lot of people powerless because they are very scared of institutions, and so now we can really so there is a subtle balance in between this question of psychological projection and recognizing the errors and recognizing also the bad and things. So this is really about this polarity and subtlety of being human and divine. It is really because divine is the oneness. And so this is the topic of today. So it is a very long introduction. So maybe now I will do this, the moment of presence I wanted to do. And then I will continue with the idea of the one. But maybe I will just finish here this long introduction about this. This is really the core of the magic and the core of the teaching I give, and the core of the support also I can give you. And I am creating now programs to support you collectively and individually. So also if you want to know more, you can reach me, and then I can tell you more about if we can work together and how. So because as divine, the divine is really oneness. It's really this idea of we are one, we are all connected, interconnected, and love is connecting us to everything, to each other, to also in our different incarnations. Also it can connect us to people who already passed away. So connecting and really being embodied in love, anchored, grounded in love, then we don't fear death anymore, and we can really stand out for our truth, and we can stand out in the face of collective institutions, and we can really create a revolution, a re-evolution, where we build a new power of the people. This is really what I'm standing for, and creating a new system, a big system change, and then creating possibly, because I think it is also a power expression, to create new institutions in service of the people and monitored by the people. And I believe this new era, this new institution, this new global governance is really emanating from the consciousness of the people in connection with the earth. So emanating from this planetary citizenship. And I've been actually part of an initiative for standing for creating, promoting a global parliament, so a planetary parliament of citizenship. So this is really going in the good direction, and that is emanating from various networks globally, and mostly NGOs and activist networks coming together, peace workers, people engaging for human rights, for social progress, evolution. And so in this divine reality, we are one. And also, as embodied, we experience this world of the forms, this world where we are also diverse, we are also many. So, in a way, I am you and you are me. And in a way, it is not the case. In the way, we are also separate. We are in separate bodies and we can experience the world in different ways. And this is why it is very interesting then to meet and to experience our alterity, the fact that we are different. Because then we can learn, and this is why, if we may say, there is this love that is here to attract us to each other and then to make us grow. This is my way. So I really have a genius capacity to rationalize and explain what is mystical, the mystery. So this is my role actually here as a priestess. It is really creating a new thought, a new way of envisioning the world, and restoring, creating a new story that can encompass the diversity of all of us and create a new possibility for us to cooperate thanks to this new global story, this new global. And I want to do it, and I do it through the way I talk, I share the way I am, my presence, and being very embodied. So I do it also in the programs I do, and as a facilitator of transformation in organizations, and what I want to do then also with countries in this new global governance is really having people dance to connect. This is my own way, as I already shared it, and I want to do it in a new way, more powerful way also, and really have people, and you, if you want to dance, to really connect to your body, to free yourself from maybe what is still preventing you from being fully yourself. And so then there is this transformational process happening. And as I was sharing, in the heart. This is in the heart that we can alchemize duality. So it was my point of, as embodied divinities in this world of forms, we are also separate, so we also experience separation. And this is actually, it enables us to experience oneness in a completely new way, not only in an etherical way, not only in a psychic way or a conceptual way, but really in a realistic way, in an embodied way, in a practical way. And then, for instance, we can make love. It is really wonderful, and this is usually mostly the kind of experience when people really experience oneness. It's when they make love, they can really, and probably you can really feel this possibility of being one when you make love with someone you love. And actually we can really develop a way of feeling the same and being the same in the same state, ecstatic state, without making love, but for instance, dancing together and just being together and holding hands. We can really, and yes, welcoming this the fact, this eros, this erotic life force, not repressing it as it was in the past. This is why I shared about the church, and there was, it's not only about this religion, it's about big religion monotheism in general, there was not this possibility of welcoming this erotic life force that make us actually human, that make us alive. And then we can hold hands and really be brothers and sisters again, and we can reunite our human family thanks to this acknowledgement that we are erotic beings. And this is wonderful, this is beautiful, this is really rich, and this makes us creative, this makes us alive. And then we can dance, and we can also connect, expand our perceptions, and connect to the cosmic plane and reality that we are okay, yes, we are on this planet, but also this planet, and we are cosmic beings. We are connected to the stars. The light of the sun is nourishing us. We are under vibrational, in a vibrational, there are waves that touch us, that are coming from other planets. In the physics, modern physics and new paradigm physics show how also the galactic black hole, the black hole at the center of our galaxy, is actually pulsating very strongly some vibrations at a cosmic rhythm, and this sends information throughout the whole galaxy and cosmos. And so, yes, this was my experience actually, to know from my own inner experience, to really touch it in an experiential way, that yes, that we are galactic beings. And I believe this is this new plane and this new perception of this new galactic consciousness, that we are galactic beings also, that there is this galactic plane of reality. I believe this is what makes us possible, what makes it possible for us on planet Earth to take some insight and to get more inspiration, to become more opened and get more information from the cosmos in order to re-inform our global governance on planet Earth, to bring about new information on planet Earth. And also in the practice of love and ecstasy, the key of empowerment is really being grounded in what you need, what you desire, in your boundaries, and also being able a bit to detach. So this, I will talk about it in more depth another time, because I think I don't agree fully with this Buddhist perspective of being fully detached. I don't think it is human. I think as human beings, actually, what makes us human is really our attachment. So I don't think it is a very relevant goal to seek for detachment in everything, because I think it is not, even if I understand this, and I understand it is a key to then develop this meta consciousness, this meta reality of us, where we can really expand in the cosmos and detach from this planetary reality, planetary plane. And in the Buddhist perspective, it is called the Maya, so the illusion of the world of the forms, because then the reality is actually the oneness, the light, the love, beyond the world of the forms, beyond all the theater of the human theater of what we play, you know. And maybe sometimes you can really feel this, how you play roles in your life, and it is very dramatic, there is a lot of drama, and yeah, as in a theater, you know, the tragedy can be a comedy, can be a tragedy. It depends on what you want to play in your life. It depends on what you choose, and you can choose it consciously, and most of the times people do it unconsciously. But then at some point on your spiritual journey, you just awaken to the fact that you are actually creating all this play or this game, and then you can choose a new story to experience. So I think the galactic perception and consciousness can really help us to detach a bit from our earthling vision, perception, existence, and really take some insight and really then being freer. And then as you are freer, as you are detached, it's like with your lover, then you can really take care of your lover or take care of the earth that you love in a very better way, because you're not needy anymore. You can really love the person for who the person is, and you can really love the earth for who the earth is, if I may say, and take really strong decisions, relevant decisions, as would do a good lover, or also a good mother and a good father for the son or for the daughter. So I think this is really about it, to become really human, and being very grown up is really to be able to love in a way that is also connected to the archetype of the mother and the father, for yourself and for others. So it is really about changing perspective. And yes, of course, we are the children of the earth. So most indigenous people, indigenous wisdom, they talk about our mother, and she's our mother. Yeah, and it is true. And actually, I think now we are called to reverse a bit the narrative and really to become the guardians, to become the father and mother of the earth, and really to take care of her. And yeah, she's taking care of us, she's supporting us. And how now we can, and maybe then a more balanced relationship is actually to position ourselves as lovers. We are the lovers of the earth. And I am quoting my dear friend Jean-François Noubel now, who was saying this, and in the summit I organized, and I will soon share the videos. I don't know exactly in which context or how, but I will soon share the videos of all the wonderful people I invited in the summit I organized with the creation of Galactica Foundation, so a foundation for planetary design, for creating this new planetary possibility of awakening, grounding in this galactic paradigm, in this galactic consciousness, as I have been explaining. And so yeah, he says, and I am borrowing this from him, that yes, we are the lovers of the earth, and so how can we be good lovers? And so being a good lover is really to love the person for who or she is, and letting this person be free to be who is or she is. So taking some insight, and we can really, and grounding in this cosmic reality, in this galactic reality, we can really make better decisions for the earth and for ourselves, because the earth is now our spaceship. And probably, I think our design, our mission, our call, and our future is to expand in the galaxy, in the solar system. But I really think this will happen thanks to the grounding in planet Earth, because she's our point of origin, of incarnation. This is really our vessel. This is where life and human life was born. So really, this is our starting point. So we need to be operating first our spaceship Earth, and then we will be wise enough to know how to survive and how to live well, also on other planets and in the world, in the greater world that integrates also the solar system, the broader solar system, and the broader galaxy, and why not even further. And actually we have everything to know how to orient ourselves, to operate the spaceship Earth, and to operate ourselves as human beings in our own lives, our own reality, and then operating, we may say, as galactic beings. If you can expand your mind and your perceptions to this reality, then you can, if you can accept or at least be curious about this possibility, and maybe you are already initiated to this, so then you know. That what was, now I lost my thread of thought about this sentence. So yeah, so orienting our vessel also in space, and may it be on Earth, in our life as individual beings, or in the broader cosmos and galaxy, it all is possible thanks to our body, thanks to our presence in our body. Our body is really our tool. It is our cockpit in this 3D reality. And then, also a lot of people and researchers, and now it is widely spread in the spiritual world, we may say, of people aware of these different possibilities, different perceptions. So there was a scheme that was created with different dimensions. So the 3D is really the dimension of the physical world, the material world, in this vision, in this perspective. And then there is the fourth and fifth dimension. And the fifth dimension is really where you can really open your heart to this new reality, this new earth that is really grounded in love. And when you open your heart and when you really can embody this wisdom, this awakening, this consciousness that you have, and operate in the fifth dimension. So this is where you can, the duality, and I was sharing about that. So this is where in the heart the duality actually disappear, or where you can accept duality and then be one with what is. And so this is when you are free actually. And this is being in the fifth dimension. And so a lot of support is also supporting leaders to tune in this fifth dimension, from especially people working in organizations, or some people are already very grounded in this fifth dimension, and they just need to become more strategical, or to maybe have a bit of, to be hold through their, because then there are some holes also. So I shared on my page, sometimes it is okay, even as a spiritual or awakened person. And I think awakening is a process that is never ending. I don't think at some point you can say, yes, okay, I think we are. Then at some point you awaken to this dream that you are making as a spiritual being, that you are here on this planet, and you create actually this world of forms. And then this is what I call awakening. So you awaken to the dream you are actually creating about yourself, operating in this world of forms as different beings. And so then in this awakening, in this situation, you don't feel separated anymore, and you are very conscious about yourself, but also you are also conscious, you can also be conscious about the fact that we are one. So it means that we are not separated anymore. So this is why sometimes when I write poetry, I say you are me, and I am you, because I am speaking from this place where we are one actually. Okay, so probably I have a lot, I have a lot to share. It is pouring out of my mouth. But now I would like to do this anyway. It doesn't matter so much if I stop the sentence. Ah yes, but okay. So then, just about this story of dimensions. So then there is the 12th. There are a lot of different dimensions. We could say there is also the 12th dimension that is very important. That is really a threshold, and then even more. And all of that we can actually learn to go into different dimensions. And the more, like if you go into the 12th dimension, it's very powerful to bring some memories that are very important for you to embody your full power, your full self, your higher self, your your soul. And all of that is possible only if you are very grounded in your body. Because you can also go there and be very in what we call the higher chakras, the higher plane. But if if you are not grounded, then you can also lose your mind. So sometimes it happens. There are some accidents, and people. So this is why also some people are very scared, and it is also normal. It is also rational, because there are some accidents where some people actually in shamanic practices, or some people sometimes they don't go back. So you open yourself to new perceptions, to new dimension, and actually then you don't go back to your body. So this is really very, very bad situation. But normally when you have a good shaman, a good priestess, someone who is really grounded, then the person can bring you back and the practice, and my practice is really this, to create a safe space that is very embodied, that is very, and then you can travel and awaken to your different bodies, to your higher self, in a way that you can be really safe. But of course, there is no, like, you are the creator of your own reality, and you need also there is, of course, an initiation, and in this initiation, there is surrendering to something bigger. And it is also important that you take full responsibility of your own journey. So, of course, you are guided. So, the guide and the person who is leading you, who is supporting you, he also has, or she has, a great responsibility in also guiding you home after the journey. So, of course, you need to share and to pick very carefully the person. And it is also a question of recognition. And you can, if you feel, you need to see if the person is very grounded or not. And so the whole my whole teaching, my whole message is still and again to be very grounded in your body. And so there are different practices that I share and that exist for you to ground in your body. And then the more you ground, the more you can travel, the more you can journey, the more you can expand. And actually I had also some experiences in the astral plane where actually I didn't really need to quit my body. I was actually embedded in my body. So I don't practice this out of the body experience, because I don't believe we need, but maybe also it depends on the people. But for me, and so this is the path I offer, it is really staying in your body. So you stay conscious about your body in the 3D, we can say, you stay here while expanding your perceptions. And in this way, you can really integrate all this knowledge, all this new consciousness, and you can bring it back to your life, to your thought, to your daily life. So then you can really transform your behavior, and you can create and manifest your desire, what you want. This is my way of doing it. Okay, so after this whole course, and yeah, of course, I know I talk a lot about different ways, about different things, that is very broad. Actually, I really create my container, the scope of my knowledge, and then I will soon share different programs that will be much more specified for you to learn very specific things. But this I share also for free, because this is my whole universe, you know, this is my whole landscape, and I think it's very important to have a vision, a global vision of what I do and who I am, in order to know me, and to know what who I am, what I share, and to know the context. So this is why I'm doing this. Actually, I'm doing this to share with you my context, to share with you who I am and the context of the programs. And I will be sharing soon, and I have already started to share with the journey, with the whole curriculum of what I am sharing and teaching and transmitting. So you can also have a look at the curriculum of the journey. It's the journey to shift civilization, the journey to complete oneness at a global level, and train leaders, guides, people who are really able to embody this. Because for me, you are a leader when you embody your message. You can be a good teacher only when you really... Hello, Sotiavi, I'm so happy to see you. Yay, great. Joining from Cambodia. So you can really teach. You are a good teacher when you really embody your teaching. So I think this is the core, how you should pick your teachers, your guides, your mentors. It's really about who they are and what do they do, and of course we can do mistakes, and we always grow, we always learn. But yeah, I think this is really the core, and this new paradigm is about. It's not about... So yeah, I think it was very important to think, to express, to share. Now I think this is the moment to live, to be, and to become this this possibility of being light, and also, of course, welcoming our shadows, knowing that we have shadows, but expressing this light inside of us, being the ground for expression, for cooperation, and not responding anymore to trauma, to not operating from the wound, from the shadow, from the trauma, not reacting anymore, but really creating from consciousness, from a healed space. And I believe we all... I said in my first video that we are all broken. I think this is really what makes us human. It is that we have a core wound, and we also have a healed part of us that is our divinity, that we all have actually. And and this is also what makes all human. This is that we are all avatars from this oneness. We are all pieces of this bigger plane, bigger reality. And so connecting and expressing and embodying this healed part, then we can really create a wonderful world where we can dance, where we can be all artists, where we can be singing and beautiful. And for me, this is really this picture of realization, of a realized humanity, is really a people of artists, of people who share who they are. And you can be an artist in your own way. You don't need to be singing or dancing, but I think this is also naturally what people do. You know, when we celebrate, we do this. When we celebrate, we sing together, we dance together, we express our beauty, we express our gifts, we celebrate through creation, because this is actually our essence, to be creators, to vibrate and to express it in colors, in song, in sound, in movement. Yes, it was a lot. So now I invite you with me, so you can of course watch me only, but you can also practice for yourself if you want to. So just taking a, and so then I wanted to start with this, but finally I will end with this because also it is already noon, so I need to finish now this recording. And yeah, I was joining from Budapest today, but I'm gonna leave for Romania this afternoon. I'm very happy about that, very lucky, grateful for this wonderful journey I am making on this planet Earth along all of you, and I cannot wait to meet you and connect at a deeper level and support you. And I am cooking a very delicious offer to initiate you into the one and support you in becoming the one that can express the one in your one unique way, if that makes sense. If you could follow my thought. Okay, so now just take a moment to connect to your body, to your breathing. To the movement of life. You just let it go, let it flow. You relax your muscles, you relax the face, your face, you relax your whole body, you relax also what is very important, your pelvic area. You feel your pelvic area, your genitals, your belly. You welcome love, welcome love. Love is an active force as much as a receptive force. So you let yourself filled, fulfilled and penetrated by love. And this is why I do all this work with the feminine, because being grounded in the feminine, we welcome the penetration of love, actually, of the masculine divine plane of wisdom, of our own nature. We accept to be who we are, to be penetrated and to penetrate the world, stepping into our masculine. And I think this is universal. Women as men. Okay, so yeah, so you let your spine move, your shoulders, your neck, your head, you let go your head, your hands, your shoulders, you let go all the weight that you are carrying that doesn't serve you anymore, on your back also. You relax deeply, you let go all of the past, you honor your ancestors, all your history, and you let go what you don't need to carry anymore, all the luggage that you may have doesn't serve you anymore. You bring in more light and you become lighter. Then you can give you a bit of massage to anchor more light and love in your whole body, to your feet, your legs, And now I will finish with sharing of my voice, and it is like a ritual for me, and it is also a gift of my art. Really connecting to tenderness. It is also a healing, energetical transmission. So you can receive if you want to. And this is really to connect you to the love of the universe and really connect to tenderness, to heal our heart. And this is connected to the medicine of the rose, of the divine feminine, the rose of our heart. How can it open and let all the petals really blossom in our lives, all the petals that we have, all the dimensions that we hold, and bring that all together around this rose, around this heart. Integrate this diversity and let it be expressed in your way, in your unique way, and you are infinitely precious as this rose that is really unique and beautiful and wonderful and magical. So if you want, you can close your eyes, but you can also watch. So it's as you prefer. But I would recommend that you close your eyes to really connect deeply to your own body, your own heart, your own rose, and feel it if it is like a little button, a bit close, or if it is in a bit of a box, protected, and it is all okay, or if it is here, open to the world, everything is okay. Just welcome your own heart as it is, and be very tender to your heart. And breathe. Welcome again. Welcome, wonderful human being. Welcome in your body. Welcome in your heart. Welcome in the medicine of the rose, of the galactic rose. You are loved and you are supported. You can go and let it infuse in your cells, in your dreams, in your love. And I will see you this Friday if you want to connect deeper and bring togetherness and tenderness together. You are very welcome to join. It will happen at 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you feel nourished by this transmission, this gift, this sharing, you can also make a donation if you want on my TP account or on my PayPal that I will also write in description of this live. And if you would like to be supported in a more close way, you can also reach me. You're very welcome too. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, have a wonderful life, and see you soon.